Welcome back everybody to Civilization 5 with me, Uningo64, Daniel, or CivilOnion based upon how you know me. You may have noticed that from the last episode that we've moved a few turns ahead. There are a multitude of reasons for why. Chief among which, not really a lot happened, so I didn't think you'd miss out on much if I quickly skipped it. I also had to try some new settings while not a lot was going on. All we've really missed is that we were dealing with our big unhappiness issue. Now we've got a very happy empire. And we decided, by we I mean me, that we are still going to try and win this game culturally. We're not going to go and just dominate everybody, because that doesn't really seem a Portuguese appropriate thing to do, more than anything else. But in order to try and get this working, I've had to lower the graphics quality, change where I'm recording to. I've actually got to get my external hard drive out. We're recording there now in the theory that we won't lag as much. I have had to turn the settings down a bit, so hopefully it won't be horribly noticeable. I refuse to put it down to minimal graphics for textures because it looks atrocious. We just turned things down a modest amount. And fingers crossed it will work much more smoothly than it did before. There might not be much of a gap on my videos. There might be, but there might not. In reality, the last time I played this game was about probably 3 or 4 months ago. I could check the change log or my log of events. I'm not going to, it's a bit unnecessary. We'll put it this way, it's been such a long time ago that I had to spend probably the first half an hour of me checking for settings to actually work out what the hell I'd planned on doing. But no, if you're wondering why does the video look slightly different as well to the last one, I've had to switch video recording software or screen capture software on this case because it's a laptop game, a PC game, right? We were using MSI Afterburner, we were then lagging to death, so I have had to switch to actually a piece of streaming software. Right now I am using, I think it's called Open Broadcaster Software, OBS. Yeah, it sounds good. And it seems to do a pretty good job of the games that require less resources. So I did Democracy 3, 7 videos worth of that game a little while ago, and it worked really well. This game has had some issues with. I'm keeping a very close eye on the timer, you see, because when OBS stops recording, or it lags, or it jams, the timer stops. So I have that in the corner of my eye. Actually, as a consequence, because it was streaming software, there was a very big opportunity for me to put face cam in the video. However, this laptop has 4 USB ports. One has to go to the mouse. One has to go to the microphone. One has to go for a cooling tray to keep the laptop performing well. And then the 4th one has to go to the external hard drive that I'm now having to use to try and reduce lag. As a consequence, I don't have a USB to put my webcam into, so unfortunately, or fortunately if you don't like the look of my face, and I'm not going to leave that open to debate. Either way, that's not available right now. If I was actually doing this as a stream, maybe I'd have to sacrifice something else. I don't know what. Maybe I'd just have to get a different cooling device and not have it USB. I don't know. Let's talk some more about this game though, rather than me waffling on about logistics. As I think my son just fell out of bed. I heard a great big thud. Hopefully he's alright. I don't hear anything, so he should be good. Anyway, yeah. We are Portugal. We're trying to win in what seems a reasonably Portuguese appropriate way. Oh, hang on. Someone's adopted an ideology. Russia has order. Now, I believe past me did not pick order. Past me, I believe, picked autocracy. I'm going to quickly explain what this means if this turn will load up. Thank you. If we go to our... well, we can check this. This is important. I'll talk about it in a moment. But we want to go to our culture victory tab at the moment. We are influential over 2 people, so we have more tourism in, I believe it's the Celts and the Iroquois, than they have culture, so they're dominated. To win culturally, you have to dominate everybody that's alive in the game. We picked autocracy. It's going to be quite funny winning culturally with autocracy as an ideology. It doesn't seem to go hand in hand. But anyway, we're going to try and win with autocracy. Russia picked order. Now, if we go to influence by player, we can see that if we go to Russia, we are popular over Russia. We have an 80% influence over them. We're actually not far away from dominating them as well. Whereas if we go to Russia, Russia isn't doing anything to us at all. They only have 4.5% influence over us. Now what that means, if we go back to this tab, is that our culture is imposing on theirs. We're pushing our culture on them. And what that is doing is changing their public opinion of their ideology. To the degree, here we are, that if you're content, you don't generate any unhappiness at all with your ideology choice. And because we have cultural superiority over Russia, but no one has it over us that has an ideology, we don't have anyone to deal with. So we have content people. Russia is in civil resistance. They really don't want order. And if they actually get super unhappy, they can flip ideologies to autocracy. But as it happens, they're losing 12 happiness, but they're still positive. They would have 19 happiness normally. So they're not really a threat of that. If they went to revolutionary wave, the unhappiness hit is enormous, and that can really cause empires problems. They, however, have plenty of problems as is, considering they're in a tightly knit area with the Aztecs that are obviously well regarded for being aggressive. The Aztecs, in fact, have St. Petersburg, so that will no doubt have angered them thoroughly. Whereas, on the other hand, we have Greece kind of pushing in towards the Aztecs and the Russians. This is all a bit of a mess down on the part of the map that we're not on. But we don't have to worry about this. The great thing about winning culturally is that you barely have to get involved in any war. It always helps, because you can steal artwork and music and all that. And that's a terrible deal for me. Have you got anything better? If I do this... Oh, that's a terrible deal for me, but I really don't need anything else off him, so he'll just like me more for giving him a nice deal. Yes, we're really making advantage of the fact that we're Portugal and we get more money off our cargo ships. Even though I think we only have 2 trade routes going, as it happens, we should probably build some more. I think I'll actually do that, now that we're not suffering with happiness problems. Albeit, you get more money... Oh, actually, I just noticed that incense there randomly by itself. That's kind of a shame there's not more land. Yeah, the whole point of being Portugal is you get more money off trading, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a few caravans. I believe we'll need to build some archaeologists as well to make sure our tourism really gets high. I wonder if we can actually... No. The reason I'm saving money is because I want to buy hotels rather than having to build them. So they're done a lot quicker, right? And that means our tourism will go up a lot quicker as well. That is why I'm stockpiling. Where are our spies? We have one in Lisbon, that is the correct thing to do. And we actually have one as a diplomat in Greece. That's interesting. What is the World Congress thinking? Oh, good. Well done, past me. The World's Fair is the correct thing to do. And Greece likes the World's Fair as well, and they have a ridiculous number of votes. It actually may be that I have to kill Greece, because otherwise he is in... I don't think, even if we get to the place when he can win diplomatically, that he has enough votes. But he is very high and very close to it. So we might actually just have to kill him. Hopefully not, because it will absolutely destroy my happiness. So we're just going to keep building science buildings, trade units, and the occasional archaeologist. That's all we really need to do right now. Really get our tourism and science both propelling upwards. Because if push comes to shove, I don't want to attack Greece with either inferior units or the same units, frankly. I want to dominate them. And they have rifles at the moment, and I do not, to my knowledge. Then again, I don't really fear them attacking me, because even if they do, I can basically bribe the entire world in on him. So I don't have an issue there. I'm going to trade with Manila and get a lot of money, because I really need more money, I know. And we've got the Circus Maximus, which is a national wonder that gives you a lot of happiness. So perfect. We're actually going to get a hydro plant in there. We have plenty of aluminium. We're not going to have to build many military units made of aluminium or aluminum if you're one of my American viewers. I really don't want iron. It's kind of weird that iron to them kind of lasts forever in terms of value. So they'll always try and trade iron to you, no matter how obsolete you've made it. Yet they seemingly at random times will deem that an iron trade is worthless to them. It's kind of weird how that works, but there are a few weird anomalies, I would say, when it comes to the diplomacy part of this game. Right, we have an archaeologist. Let's go over there. What do we need? Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to build a workboat, because we can build a platform as soon as we get refrigeration next turn, so that oil will actually become useful and relevant to us. I completely forgot. No, that was not the button I wanted. I completely forgot to check on the religion front. What can we... Oh, we can't really do anything with it. Okay, we're not going to bother. Actually, one thing I should check is on my social policies. Yeah, unfortunately, the only one I've actually completed is Liberty. That wasn't really good thinking on my part, because, for example, if you complete Tradition, you can buy Great Engineers with Faith, which is really useful. It actually may be worth completing the Aesthetics tree. For a minute, I can't remember what on earth it was called. Yeah. We just need to spam culture, tourism and science. We really don't need to spam gold making, because we are making so much anyway. We're not even in the golden age. We're making 200 gold a turn, which is absolutely incredible. It does help that a lot of our cities that we have are puppets. Puppets will always try and prioritise getting gold over any other resource. They'll get enough food to survive and then just go for gold. Okay, we have refrigeration. We're now in the modern era. That's great. Or the modern era, if you want to believe what he said. We have a great musician, and we have a spy. First things first, we are going to move to... We want to move to probably Onondaga as a diplomat in case we have to sway any votes. Then what we want to do is, let me quickly check. We want to go to radio first, and then I'll have to do a bit of teching for military units just in case I get attacked. One other thing I need to check before I decide what to do with a musician is, do I have the great work for music? I think it's Broadway. Or did we just unlock Broadway? Do we even have any great music, great pieces of music? We have Portugal Industrial, Portugal Renaissance, and that's it. Okay, we're not going to get the big bonus that we potentially could have got off music, so I can just use it. And the music that we're going to get is Electric Counterpoint 3 Fast. I actually quite like that. Oh, excellent. Music I've actually heard of that I like. I'm not very musically involved in real life. As in, life in general. As in real life, yeah. I know really lots about music in my fake life. Oh dear. Anyway, we're just going to do that. So, 5 turns until that happens. We sorted our spy out. Okay. I'm not going to build hotels. What are you, crazy? What we're going to do is military academies give us happiness, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, shrines don't. It was actually quite incredible how bad a job I did at trying. And I wasn't trying to get a religion in this game, but I didn't even come close, and I don't think I would have got the chance either. Okay, I need to check the order of tourism. So, Lisbon is basically providing all the tourism. Pasagade, I think we worked out it was called. I still want to call it Pasagade, but it's not pronounced like that. Okay, I might actually... What I might want to do is... while our happiness is up, I'm going to annex this. And I'm immediately going to buy the courthouse. In an ideal world... Actually, they might get a merchant soon. I'll keep one in there. In an ideal world, you don't really want to have to annex cities. unless you're burning them, because it costs money to look after courthouses, right? To maintain courthouses. So it's usually better, if you can, to capture a city, burn it to the floor, and then put another city exactly where it was if it was a good location, and then start again. Not always an option, though. So we have 11,000 gold, just the 11,000. Hotels are quite expensive. They're not as expensive as a stadium, rather, but they are pretty expensive. That's got tourism going on. That's got some. I'll actually do that one last because that only has 2. Tourism. Anybody for tourism? Tourism. There we go. Look how quickly that money gets used up. Late game buildings and military units are really expensive. At least because we've got autocracy, we can get cheaper military units. So I would rather have to buy them than buy buildings. But my tourism is now 93. So it's really worthwhile to buy that early. I can't buy the Eiffel Tower or... That's Broadway. Yeah, Broadway's available at radio. If possible, if you really think you're going to get Broadway, I wasn't sure earlier on in the game. It's tempting to not turn your musicians into works of music immediately, because if you get all 3 from your civilization in the same era, you get a huge tourism bonus from the theme. So, what I need to do now is, as Portugal, I need to tick this, because that will put it in order for me. They were already influential all over too. And the key is, how quickly am I going to convert these? Now, Russia's going to be very soon. The Aztecs are going to be very soon. Persia's going to take a while. Except the problem is that we're not getting any percentage bonus. We're only getting 16 on Russia because we're getting a big penalty for different ideologies. However, we're trading between some of these. For example, we're trading between the Aztecs. We're not trading with Russia, but we do have the same religion and open borders, which helps. Whereas with Persia, we don't really have anything going, and it's the same with Greece. So it might well be that we just kill Greece and or Persia and win the game really quickly. The thing is, though, killing both of them, frankly, is going to be a pain in the backside. Because Cardiff is all the way over here, and it's going to be a real pain to get to. It won't be particularly difficult to take out once I get there, but it'll be a pain to get to. And Greece has, at this point in time, better military units than me, because I've been focusing on building my tourism. So it's probably not the best of ideas to take them on head on. Monty and Alexander are no longer at war. So I have to really keep an eye on the border with Sparta in particular. Don't really have to worry about Mycenae. I have a horrible feeling that's not how it's pronounced either, but we'll just go with the flow. We just have to keep an eye on it because Sparta is his new capital. It's where most of his units have been. And we will keep a further eye on that next time. So if you like the video, physically like it with a like. Maybe subscribe if you want to. But most of all, I want to have comments left. I like to talk to people. So please do leave comments, even if you just go, wow, this is boring. Put something constructive on top of that so I can talk to you. Anyway, peace out, guys.